Hello everyone, this is for Algebra 2, the law of cosine. I know initially this is going to look like it's worse than doing law of sine, but in some ways it's actually easier. A couple things in the pattern I want you to notice is that if this is side A, this is angle A, side B, angle B, side C, angle C. The other two sides are represented inside it. The other two sides are represented inside it. If you want to solve for one of the sides, all you need to do, if I want to solve for A, is I would square root both sides. And before you guys get carried away, no, nothing will pull out. If you had B squared times C squared times negative 2BC cosine A, because this is all a product, I could pull the B and the C out. But because it's a sum or difference, I can't touch it. It's as good as it gets. So if you want to solve for A, you just square root both sides. If you want to solve for B, you just square root. Solve for C, you just square root. If I want to solve for angle A, I have to start pulling stuff to the other side. So I'd subtract B squared. Oops. Subtract B squared from both sides. And I'd have to subtract C squared from both sides. So I'd have A squared minus B squared minus C squared equals negative 2 times B times C times the cosine of A. These three things are all held by multiplication to cosine of A. So you would divide them out. Minus 2 BC, negative 2 BC. So you got A squared minus B squared minus C squared over minus 2 BC equals cosine A. I know it looks like it's getting intimidating. Now all you need to do is take the inverse cosine of both sides. This is all within you guys' skill set. You guys can do this. So you're left with inverse cosine. Let me put those parentheses a little better because it's going to be a fraction. So that'll be A squared minus B squared minus C squared all over negative 2 BC. Close it. And that's going to equal A. This same thing's going to work with these guys. That if I were to solve for this, I'd get inverse cosine, but B squared is going to be first. The other two sides will come second. And whatever these two are going to show up on the bottom. You guys can take the time and solve these. You'll see what I'm talking about. Okay? In the interest of making the video, I want to kind of move things along. This one's going to end up being inverse cosine. C squared this time is going to come first, then the other two sides, and then you would divide out the minus 2 BC. Made a mistake. AB. I don't know why I said BC. No idea. And that's going to equal angle C. Alright? When you guys go to type this in your calculator, you're going to have to introduce two more pair of parentheses. You're going to have to introduce a parens here and a parens here in order for your calculator to do it correctly. The reason you have to do that, if you didn't, you'd have B squared minus A squared minus C squared being divided by negative 2, then times B times C, which isn't what you want. You want to keep all that in the bottom and all of that in the top. So you have to introduce a second set of parentheses, top and bottom, in order to get this to work. Alright. If you guys are told two angles, this is automatically going to be a law of sine problem. Doesn't matter what side you're given, it's going to automatically be a law of sine problem. Okay, because you're going to have a pair. Here I've got a pair, so that's the law of sine. Here's a pair, law of sine. I don't have C, but because I know two angles, I can cut them off at 180, and now I have a pair. Okay, so be aware that that's a law of sine. It doesn't work in law of cosine. If you try and fill one out, let's take this first one. How about the A squared is equal to B squared minus C squared, plus minus 2BC cosine of A. If I try and fill this out, I get 5 squared, B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine of 30. I have too many unknowns. I can't do it. Okay? It just doesn't work. Alright, so if you're told all three sides, you can't do law of sine. It's definitely law of cosine. Which one of these you fill out first makes no difference whatsoever. So if I start filling out this first one, So I'd go 5 squared equals 4 squared plus 3 squared minus 2 times 4 times 3 times the cosine of a. Then I start pulling stuff off. I subtract these two things off. Then I have to divide this stuff to the other side. Then I need to get rid of the cosine, so I'm going to take the inverse cosine of both sides. Remember, when you go to type this in your type it in your calculator, you're going to need a second set of parentheses. Okay. In the interest of time, I'm not going to type that in. I want to just keep moving this along. Okay. So for this one, if I start filling it out, then I just put 4 first. 4 squared equals 5 squared plus 3 squared minus 2 times 5 times 3 times the cosine of b. Subtract these to the other side. Sorry, it closed. 4 squared minus 5 squared minus 3 squared. This stuff is all held by multiplication, so I have to divide it out. Then I need to get rid of the cosine, so I take inverse cosine of both sides. Remembering once again that you're going to need to put another set of parentheses here and here. And for the last one, you guys again know what to do. You're just going to fill the numbers in. So I have 3 squared is equal to 5 squared plus 4 squared minus 2 times 5 times 4 times the cosine of c. Move this stuff over. And then take the inverse cosine of both sides. Remembering, so to be a broken record, skipping CD, whatever you want to call it, I need to put in another set of parentheses. Okay. If you're told one angle, remember it's not a law of sine because you don't have a pairing. Here, you only have one choice to what to do first. With the previous one, it wouldn't matter which one of these I did first. But with this one, I have to find side A first. I have to, otherwise it won't work. So 3 squared plus 4 squared minus 2 times 3 times 4 times the cosine of A. Now, oops, A was 15. I said, otherwise it won't work, to show you why it's not going to work. So that would be 15 degrees. I'll just write one out. One of the other patterns. Let's go B squared first. So 4 squared is equal to A squared, I don't know, plus 3 squared minus 2 times A times 3 times the cosine of, if B squared goes first, then angle B has to go over here. I don't know little a, and I don't know angle B. I can't do this. It won't work. You have to start by finding the side that's opposite that. So to do this, all I have to do is square root both sides. And you have A is equal to, and just type this as you see it. Don't stop, just hit square root, blah, 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 and fill it all in. Okay? Kids that make mistakes on this are starting to evaluate it. They'll go 9 plus 16 minus, I guess that would be, 24. Cosine of 15, and then they go, that's 25 minus 24. For some reason they think that they can subtract these two together and they just get 1 cosine 15. You can't, guys. This doesn't work. What I'm doing is completely wrong. You can't bring these together. It doesn't work. You have to do the multiplication before you can do the subtraction. So don't. Just skip all that. Just type it in. Have faith that your calculator is going to do it. Type the square root symbol and just put everything in it. Once you know A, little a, the side A, then you know all 3 sides. If you know all 3 sides, then you do it just like this. Okay? There you go. So that's how you're going to finish that one. Again, I'm trying to move through it quickly. Once you find the 3rd side, you do it just like you did on the previous screen. Okay? And I think that's the last slide. Yep. Thank you for your time.